Good day, I'm Carleen Brown-Thompson, and this is your JIS News for Monday, May 5. There are still no reports of chikungunya cases in Jamaica, but the Health Ministry says it's continuing preparation activities as the virus spreads through other Caribbean nations. The virus is spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which also spreads dengue fever, and there is no specific treatment or a vaccine for the disease. Director of Emergency Disaster Management and Special Services, Dr. Marion Bullock-Lucas, is urging Jamaicans to protect themselves from mosquito bites. At the same time, she says the Ministry of Health has been putting measures in place for more than 2 years in anticipation of the possibility of the chikungunya virus reaching our shores. Symptoms of chikungunya include high fever, headache, muscle pain, joint pain, mainly in the limbs and large joints, and a rash. Although it does not often result in death, joint pains and stiffness can last for months and even years. Meanwhile, Health Minister Dr. Fenton Ferguson says government is considering a number of suggestions coming out of the series of consultation with stakeholders on health financing,
including a contribution from the Tourism Enhancement Fund, motor vehicle accident insurance, and maximizing collection from private health insurance, among others.
While addressing a consultation in Mandeville, Dr. Ferguson said collecting from private health insurance providers was one of the matters to be urgently addressed.
I've encouraged the regions, I've met with the chairman and everybody to say, full speed ahead, get our insurance collection back up. We have met with insurance companies and they are on board with us.
Dr. Ferguson says access to increased financing can enable the country to better manage and operate the public health sector, improve equity, efficiency, and health outcomes. The Planning Institute of Jamaica will be boosting its community renewal program through more public-private partnerships. With help from the private sector, government will continue to target 100 of Jamaica's volatile communities in Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, and St. James.
What the Community Renewal Program seeks to do is to directly intervene in these communities to address living conditions directly, change behavioral patterns among the residents, improve the physical environment, and transfer educational skills, employment opportunities, as among other things.
The finance minister was speaking at a recent corporate mingle forum. He said the development of communities would translate to a developed country with high levels of economic growth. The education sector is the main focus of Hurricane Preparedness Month being observed in May. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, is leading the national observance under the theme, Disasters Are a Reality, Make Preparedness Your Responsibility. It's part of efforts to heighten the country's readiness for the Atlantic hurricane season, which begins on June 1 and ends November 30.
Top forecasters at the Colorado University has predicted for a very quiet season. But as we know, a quiet season is no reason for complacency, as it takes only one impact to devastate any country, its infrastructure, its economy, and by virtue of that, the life and ability of its people.
Due to children's vulnerability, schools will be particularly targeted to strengthen their preparedness and response mechanism. Businesses across Jamaica, particularly those within the education sector, are encouraged to participate in the preparedness activities during the week of May 12 to 16. ODPEM support staff will be visiting selected organizations to give safety talks and monitor preparedness activities. Other activities include the celebration of Hurricane Preparedness Day for schools on May 14. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller was among a large group of leaders and dignitaries bidding farewell to the late Professor Emeritus Norman Girvan at the University Chapel on Sunday. Former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson paid tribute to the late professor, saying he was a nationalist, an unflinching Caribbean regionalist, and intellectual apostle.
His rethinking of the Caribbean along cooperative and integrative lines helped to discover strengths and grounds for courage that extended to Latin America our sense of region and have intensified our people's demand for dignity and freedom from old models of tutelage and control.
Professor GIRVAN, who died on April 9, is survived by his wife and children. He was 72. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Caroline Brown-Thompson. Thanks for watching.